Welcome back. So we are covering, as I said, Birds of Prey number 12. And this is Worlds Without End, part 4 of 5. Writer Kelly Thompson, art Sophie Campbell. Welcome to Sophie. I know her from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm not sure which volume that would be. Um, Maybe a couple years ago, but I don't know how long she'll be on this. I wonder if it was just specifically for that art style for this book, but we'll talk about that. Javier Pina and Gavin Guidry were also artists here, and colors Jordi Belair. Publisher not synopsis. Extra dimensional catastrophes have never been cuter or more deadly. Their attempt to control the portal dimension has backfired in a hilarious but violent way, and the birds of prey find themselves dealing with some unexpectedly cute results. Meanwhile, Oracle's escape plan nears completion despite some over enthusiastic assistance. Cassandra Cain has a big idea. So, looking at this cover, first of all, it reminds me of the Justice League animated. Wait, which one was it? Was it Justice League Unlimited that I think was called Kid Stuff, where the main, I think it must have been Unlimited because I think it was just one episode, though I could be wrong, where, yeah, the main crew, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, trying to think if there was anyone else there. Um, Basically became 8 year olds, which was really interesting. And also, any of the shippers of Batman and Wonder Woman, I think, had a lot of evidence showcased in that particular one. But yes, they are all very cute. No Babs, though, which maybe they didn't want to spoil that she is found in this particular issue. But the art itself, of course, we transition from what we are used to this cute cartoony style. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is in fact Sophie Campbell, just looking at some of these details and what I know of her from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I enjoy all of, I mean, it's not just that the art has changed, but the reactions, it's just like full body, almost fully immersive in how this world has affected this particular art. I almost feel like, and this is probably wrong of me, but I almost feel like the writing also changed with it. But I think that's just because the art almost is like so intense and good intense, that it almost shifts how you're reading things, and that, oh, like these people have also kind of been cutesy down a little bit as well. I will say, Donovan will love this, but how Barda looks as this full figured lady, and here she's got stars in her eyes, reminds me of Steven Universe. Not something I've ever watched, but just reminds me of that. And then Babs is pretty cute, having a cape. I think she has a cape and an Oracle symbol on her. So I do, let's see, some quotes here that I have pulled out. Oh, oh, yes. So everyone, of course, is confused what the heck is going on. And Dinah, oh my God, we are cartoon Sin. What happened? And she says, you said something nice and safe and cute and fluffy and no dinosaurs. And then Barta says, Sin, nothing is more violent than a cartoon. Cass, of course, rightly wondering whether Bardo actually watches cartoons. And Barda says, did you hear what I said? They're filled with incalculable violence. Of course, I watch cartoons. So just like that's probably my favorite interaction, to be honest, but just really funny. And then an anvil, yeah, suddenly falls. And at one point, there's later on, there is a piano. An issue, I have a couple issues with this issue. One of them is, oh, look, there's Barbara. And I thought, we've spent 3 issues separated from her, pretty far away, unable to find her. And then we're on page 8, which there is an ad. So let's say 7, and here she is. And I thought that it was a little too easy that all of a sudden she's here. Maybe we could say that, yes, it's because Vixen heard her from afar. But, and of course, Vixen was not connected to the red until really the end of the previous issue. But I just thought, my gosh, I mean, they were just in completely different locations. And then we get to issue 4 and immediately they find her. And I thought that that was a little too easy. talking about plans and how to find the original portal and everything, I wonder why killing is on the table at all. And I feel like I've talked about this, not with this series, but there was something else that people were talking about. Wait, maybe it was this series. Like, why is killing an option? I'm so confused. Harley Quinn isn't even on this team anymore, and neither is Zealot, which would probably be the two worst people. Um, to like they might actually kill someone. Barda is definitely going to beat someone to a pulp, so you have to like hold her back. But I don't think killing is in. So just the fact that that is an option, and I don't know why it has to be Babs. Actually, I don't say I do know why, but I wonder why why is it Babs the one to be heartless here and be like, well, what if we kill, I mean, you have to basically like you need to kill Maya, talking to Stella so that she can absorb her powers. And I feel like in regards to temperament, that Barda would have been a better fit for that sort of conversation. Writing wise, I suppose it has to be Barbara because of the connection to Velvet Tiger and the fact that Barbara apparently kills Velvet Tiger in some future. Because then, we have Sel actually saying, I'd sort of let go the hating of you for killing my mother belong, but I did not like that sentence, and I'm suddenly remembering all the time I spent hating you. So of course, but and then Barbara has to like double back and do all this. But again, the fact that Barbara Gordon is talking about somebody killing somebody is a little bit odd. I do feel bad for this poor bunny who just, wanted love, wanted to snuggle with Big Barda, but she was not having it. And then apparently that rabbit gets thrown into space because that's what we find out later on. Here are some things, some issues I have with Cass. She removes her mask, which really she doesn't ever remove her mask. This makes her human when she does that. So I guess if you like that and you feel like that's her character growth, then we'll go for it. Being an emotional support person, I don't know that. I mean, Cass does her best, but for a stranger, I don't, anyone other than Stephanie, I don't know. And then the other one is saying the word pragmatism. I'm not saying that Cassandra is, she doesn't know that word, but the fact that that would be in her toolbox to spit out is something else. I guess I just have to like completely wipe what I think about Cassandra in terms of her verbal abilities. I'm interested to see what we get in the in November with Batgirl #1. But I guess I just always think of her. She's not going to remove her mask because she wants to like be dehumanized. She's not. She's going to be fuddling around with her words. They're going to be like pauses and things like that. She's not going to use big words. And yeah, someone else probably needs to be the emotional support person, and that wouldn't be her. Of the group there, probably. I mean, Dinah has spent the longest amount of time in the presence of Selah, so I feel like that would have been the point person. But yeah, just very interesting. I did get a bit lost. I wasn't sure what the plan was. Why all of a sudden we have Watership Down going on here. And the portal, like which portal is that? But I think that the plan was to create enough of a racket by the Watership Down situation in order to get Maya to find them. And then they find a portal, not the portal, but a portal, and drag Maya in that portal with them. I am not sure how this will help that she's being dragged in at the same time with them, but I guess we will see in the finale. But I just got a little, I think I got just lost in the sauce a little bit. The cutesy factor was, oh my gosh, look, I didn't even notice this one rabbit that is like complete ninja. Who is that? So like Udo, oh man, that's connected to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then, my gosh, it looks very violent. Oh, there's like a Jason one. There's a boxer. How'd you know Ipo maybe Donovan? And then the X's in the eyes, which that always gets me. Oh, and here's the piano. Anywho, let's see here. Oh yes, I always get concerned when I see people hesitate with things. There's actually a whole thing in Virgil's Aeneid about why, if you don't know this, Aeneas had, in order to go to the underworld, he needed to grab a golden bough, which was going to be an offering to Persephone. And it doesn't like it will come off if you are worthy, basically. And there is a word they use. I don't know if it was Heisitons or Hirons. I'm trying to think of what it is, but basically like clinging. So the golden bough does come off for Aeneas, but he does not have it. It does not come off easily, I should say. Like it clings to a certain extent. So there's like this whole discussion about why is it clinging? Why did he use that word? What does that mean? What can we intuit about Aeneas? But anyways, hesitating. I just thought of that particular word. I wonder, yes, it makes me nervous because we got these dot dot dots. Maya's saying, like, come over to me. I think, we can kind of work together here and even the sides. And Rutro, Megara is considering that. I don't know if that will come back to us later on because I don't fully trust Megara anyways. I hope Sin doesn't either. So there we go. And then, yeah, just the last bit. So I wasn't sure how this person connects because the connection in the previous one was Cass. So I thought, oh, it has something to do with Cass. I don't know anything about this particular person. Xanthi Shu, I believe. And I do know that they are from Spirit World. So if you've read that, you probably have seen them. I don't know if they are connected to Cass in any way. Someone would have to help me out with that. But yeah, we'll see how Xanthi actually, what part they play in the story, and then the team later on. But right now, apparently, the whole team is dead because, uh, yeah, they couldn't feel anything, I guess. So that's basically that particular issue. I would say the best part of the issue was honestly the fact that, well, this art, I think, and having a really cute art style, I think could almost negate everything else. But I do have some, I would say, like bigger issues and question, and their character moments. So again, you're relying on the writer and the writer's impression of these characters or what they believe that these characters are like. But just the killing, I think that needs to be resolved. I'm pretty sure that this was actually discussed about earlier on, but again, we lost two people that would have been the killers. And Cass and how kind of her behavior is. And I guess maybe those are the biggest ones. So, oh, and finding Bab so quickly. So those are my biggest ones. Yeah, I guess I would give this maybe an 8 out of 10 fluffy, nonviolent rabbits. So we'll see. I mean, I want to give the art basically a 10 out of 10. I think that Campbell did an amazing job and I really loved that. So we'll see how this all shakes up in the end. And then of course now I just have questions about, oh, what is Cass going to be doing? And how is she, if she's not on the team, how is she ushered off the team? So that'll be really interesting to see. Okay. Do, 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 do. Moving on. So we've got Stella's Dungeon of Smut brought to you by Hornacek's Fried Calamari Sticks. So I don't know if I have any that I will say that I am kind of reaching my limit, I think, with the smut. I mean, I've been going at it since really Christmas of 2023, and I feel like I've almost read everything I needed to read. In this month, unfortunately, I discovered a kink that apparently, well, if you search it, like you can find other books with it. I don't really care for it. I think it's a bit muddled. Or there's like psychological confusion for me in terms of where this falls in terms of kink and a fetish. I don't even know if I want to say what it is because I just feel like I've already talked so much about things that I'm sure I've lost everyone's respect. And I don't want you to find out and then wish that you hadn't known. So I guess I'll just leave it. I haven't dabbled in the dark romances, but I'm completely fine with that. So yeah, I'm just kind of like reaching my end. I wish that Goodreads needs an overhaul, needs an update. Apparently it's not been like updated since like it first came out, basically. Because I would love to give half stars. I did like Wicked Served by Grace Riley, but I gave it a three, but I would give it a 3.5. And then I liked Mine to Take by Jennifer Susevich. But again, a 3.5 out of four. And it's bad when you read something in a series and I thought that I had skipped others in the series, but actually I had read all of them, which I guess I was confusing them with someone else. But I really have nothing necessarily to recommend. I will actually say, even though overall I give it a 3 out of 5, that the Fake Date Formula by Mina Sinclair was good because it was racing. It was, what type was it? Sprint cars? I can't remember what or it was Formula 1, but which was a different because I feel like I'm always with hockey, or there could be some football and baseball, but this was different for me, and it actually was a sports novel because a lot of times it says like, oh, this is a hockey novel, but you barely see any hockey in it. But that one, there was a lot of like racing, and clearly the author either had the love of Formula One or did her research. So if you like that and want to give that a go, then certainly do. And that is something that there's another one coming out. I'm like, oh, I'll put that on my wish list and watch it. So nothing really to recommend. But yeah, if you're looking for something, if you want to know what that kink is, I can tell you next time. It's not super disturbing. I just, again, like, here, I'll tell you what the thing is. The separation between like mothering and like sexuality, that's like the issue that I'm like, oh, where are we're really bleeding these things in. I don't know. I have questions about it. Okay, let's move on to actual literature recommendations, which I did. I was like, I need to read some actual books here. I read The Outsiders for the first time by S.E. Hinton. You can look, I really like that. And I'm excited to see the Broadway play with Professor Coca Jr.'s mom next week or in 2 weeks. And that you can look for a review of that or discussion of that on Required Reading with Tom and Stella in September. And then I also just finished The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas, which was recommended to me, or I saw someone, maybe it was recommended by Robert Ward, and I really liked that. Definitely, if I were to, I kind of hate doing this because I just feel like it is almost waters down the art of the actual author when you compare it to something else. So I will just say that it is Rebecca-esque, but it's great because it takes place in Mexico in the 19th century, I believe it was. I believe it's the 1800s. So different culture, and a more intense Rebecca, I would say too. So if you like Rebecca or kind of like those feels, I think that you would like that. And also gives you a chance to experience a different culture. So those are the two. And I think that is basically it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Send any questions or comments to backrolltheoracle@gmail.com. Like the show on Facebook or follow it on Twitter at backrolltheoracle. Subscribe to the show on YouTube for an uncut version and follow the Batman universe on Facebook and Twitter as well. Support the Batman universe by subscribing to Patreon. And once again, thanks to Mile High Comics for sponsoring Backroll the Oracle, the Barbara Gordon podcast. Next time, we'll start working our way through that lost year of Cassandra Cain. And I'm just going to have to, yeah, the last time I saw her was War Games. So I'm just going to have to rehash what the heck I did. So that'll be like several episodes, depending on how those arcs are laid out. But until then, fly on, Babs lovers.